Am I the asshole for considering breaking up with my fiancé because he ran away when we were being attacked? For most of my life, I thought I knew exactly who I was marrying. 6 years together gives you a certain confidence, enough to say yes when he asked me to be his wife a few months ago. I remember the proposal so clearly. The lights, the shaking in his voice, the way my heart felt like it was going to break out of my chest from pure joy. We set our wedding date for December. I thought everything was locked in, stable, certain. I didn't know that certainty could shatter in a single moment. It happened last night, after what should have been a simple dinner. Nothing fancy, just me, my fiancé, and my brother grabbing a nice meal together because the restaurant was finally open again after months of renovations. The place was popular, packed, and parking was a nightmare. We had to leave the car several blocks away, which didn't seem like a big deal at the time. The weather was good, the streets were mostly quiet, and it felt safe enough walking back even though it was late. We were halfway to the car when everything changed. A man on a bike coasted up to us from behind. At first I thought he was just passing by, maybe delivering food or trying to get around us. But instead of riding past, he stopped directly in front of us and blocked our path. There was no hesitation in his voice, no confusion or drunken wobble, just a clear, sharp demand. Give me everything you have. His hand was inside his jacket, angled the way people hold something they want you to think is a gun. My heart dropped into my stomach. My brother stiffened. I turned to look at my fiancé, and he was already gone. He didn't say a word, didn't grab my arm, didn't even look at me. He just bolted, full sprint, down the sidewalk like he'd trained for months for that exact moment. It happened so fast, I didn't process it at first. 1 second he was beside me, the next he was 20 feet away, then 30, then gone. My brother stepped in front of me without hesitation, instantly like a shield snapping into place. He kept his voice steady, talking slowly, watching the man's posture, his eyes, the shape in his jacket. Within seconds, it clicked for him. The gun wasn't a gun. My brother stepped forward, grabbed the man's arm, and with one hard shove, knocked him off balance. Somehow, he managed to pin the attacker with a mix of pure adrenaline and instinct. I just stood there frozen, watching the two of them struggle, and all I could think was, my fiancé ran. My brother disarmed the guy in less than a minute and held him down long enough for someone nearby to start yelling that they were calling the police. The attacker ripped free and sped off on the bike, disappearing into the same darkness my fiancé had vanished into moments earlier. I didn't even speak at first. I didn't know what to say. My brother turned to me, asked if I was okay, dusted off his hands, and made a joke about the fake gun being the worst prop he'd ever seen. But my mind wasn't on the attacker anymore. It was on the empty space beside me, the one my fiancé left. When things finally quieted down, I called him. He answered on the second ring, voice trembling, like he was the one who'd been attacked. I told him we were fine and that we'd come pick him up. He apologized over and over, said he panicked, said he didn't know what he was doing, and I believed him. I really did. But belief doesn't stop the feeling in your stomach when the person you're supposed to trust with your life shows you exactly who they are under pressure. And for the first time since the proposal, I felt something cold settle in my chest, something I couldn't shake. The next morning should have felt normal. I woke up expecting the emotional thaw to have lifted after a full night of sleep, the way panic usually fizzles out once daylight hits. But it didn't. If anything, the weight in my chest felt heavier. My husband-to-be, this man I had imagined walking down the aisle toward, barely spoke over breakfast. He wasn't angry, he wasn't defensive. He just looked ashamed. Eyes down, voice small, hands shaking whenever he reached for his mug. And instead of feeling comforted that he understood what happened, I felt even more uneasy. I kept replaying the scene in my head. The attacker, my brother stepping forward, my fiancé disappearing like a shot of lightning. That moment, his moment, kept looping over and over, like a glitch. Finally, I called my brother. I needed someone grounded, someone who wasn't emotionally entangled in the way I was. If anyone could tell me I was overreacting, it would be him. He listened to every word, his tone calm the entire time. "You're not wrong for feeling off," he said. "It was a scary situation, but don't make a permanent decision on temporary adrenaline. Give him room to grow." I wanted so desperately for that to be enough, for someone to tell me that the fear I felt wasn't mine to carry forever. That last day was just one bizarre fluke, nothing more, nothing less. But the truth is, it wasn't fear anymore. It was something deeper, a gut-level shift, like a gear inside me had slipped and I couldn't force it back into place. And then came the hardest part to admit. It wasn't just that he ran, it was how he ran. No instinct to protect, no attempt to grab my hand or pull me with him. Just pure, self-preserving flight. That thought hit harder than anything the attacker did. When I tried to talk to my fiancé about it, he didn't defend himself. He didn't try to twist it or pretend it didn't happen the way it did. He just kept saying, "My body reacted before I could think. I'm so sorry." But the sorry didn't feel like reassurance. It felt like watching someone drown in guilt while you stand there unable to save them, because the thing that broke you isn't something they can undo. I didn't want him to be a fighter. I never expected him to be some action hero who could throw a punch. Safety doesn't always look like strength. Sometimes it's just staying beside the person you love, even when you're scared. But when split seconds count, instincts reveal priorities. His priority had been survival. My brother's had been protection. And mine was suddenly clarity. By noon, the love I felt for my fiancé, steady and warm just 24 hours earlier, had turned into something thin, fragile, and unfamiliar. Not gone, but badly cracked. A crack you can't repair with sorry, a crack big enough to let doubt pour through. By the afternoon, I couldn't ignore it anymore. The shift inside me wasn't temporary, panic, or leftover adrenaline. It was something heavier, something final. I sat on the edge of the bed, staring at the engagement ring on my finger, and for the first time since he proposed, it didn't feel like a promise. It felt like a question. A question I suddenly wasn't sure how to answer. I knew I couldn't make a decision while trapped inside my own head, so I asked my fiancé if we could talk. He nodded immediately, almost too eagerly, his face tightening with worry. We both sat down at the kitchen table, and the silence between us felt like a wall. He opened his mouth first. "He know I failed you last night." His voice cracked, and he looked like he was bracing himself for impact. I know I wasn't thinking. My brain shut off. I just ran. I took a breath, slow and controlled. "I know you panicked. I'm not angry at you for being scared." He swallowed. "But?" The but sat between us like a weight neither of us wanted to touch. "But instinct says a lot," I finally admitted. "And when something truly dangerous happened, you didn't look for me. You didn't reach for me. You didn't even check if I was running with you. You just left." He buried his face in his hands. "I hate that I did that. I hate it so much." His regret was real. I could see it. And that almost made it worse, because if he were dismissive or defensive, the distance growing in my chest might have felt justified. But instead, he was gentle, open, vulnerable, and none of that changed what I felt. The moment of truth had already carved itself too deep. "I keep thinking," I continued, "if my brother weren't there, what would have happened to me?" He winced like I'd slapped him. "I would never want you hurt," he whispered. "But wanting isn't the same as doing," I said softly. He didn't argue. He couldn't, because we both knew the truth. We'd watched it play out in real time. "I'm not blaming you," I said again, quieter this time. I learned something about myself last night. Safety matters to me. Feeling protected matters, and not in some traditional man must fight way. I just need to know my partner won't abandon me in the moment I need him most. He looked up, and tears were pooling in his eyes. "I froze. I ran. I failed you. But I can get better. I can train myself. I can go to therapy. I can learn not to panic like that." His desperation cracked something inside me, not in a healing way, but in a way that made everything sharper, more painful. Because I believed him. I believed he could get better. But I also knew something he didn't. Love doesn't return on command. Once it slides off the table, you can't scoop it back into place like nothing happened. "I wish it were that simple," I whispered. He shook his head, tears finally spilling. "Please don't give up on me because of one moment." I felt my own eyes sting, but I held it together. This wasn't one moment. It was clarity about compatibility, about instinct, about what I need to feel safe with someone for the rest of my life. He fell silent, completely. The kind of silence where someone really knows the answer before it's spoken out loud. For a long time, neither of us moved. It felt like sitting inside the collapse of something we both tried so hard to build. And then, slowly, I slipped the ring off my finger and placed it on the table between us. His breath hitched. That was the moment everything ended. The sound the ring made when it touched the table was small, barely more than a tap, but somehow it echoed through the whole kitchen. It felt like the punctuation mark on 6 years of history, 6 years of promises, 6 years of building something we both thought would last forever. My fiancé, no, my ex-fiancé, stared at it like it was something radioactive. His eyes were wide, stunned, as if he genuinely didn't believe this moment was real until the metal hit the wood. He whispered, "Please don't." Not loud, not angry, just a fragile, broken plea, the kind of sound someone makes when their heart cracks so hard they can feel it physically. I wanted to stop everything. I wanted to take his hand, wipe his tears, tell him none of this was happening and that we'd figure it out. There was a part of me that longed to step backward, back into the comfort of the life we had built together, before last night rewired everything inside me. But stepping backward would be lying. To him. To myself. I inhaled slowly, steadying my voice. "I care about you more than you know, but I can't go into a marriage with this shift inside me. It wouldn't be fair to you, or to me." His jaw tightened. "So that's it? One mistake and I lose you?" I said gently, "It wasn't a mistake. It was instinct. And instinct is honest. That's what scares me." He shook his head in disbelief. "I would never abandon you, ever." But you did. Not intentionally, not maliciously, but you did. He covered his face with both hands, shoulders shaking, not violently but quietly, like he was trying to swallow the worst moment of his life and failing. I felt my own throat tighten because seeing someone you love break isn't easy, even when you're the one ending it. I sat there through the silence, through the trembling breaths, through the weight of reality settling around us like dust after a collapse. He eventually lowered his hands, revealing eyes red and swollen. "Do you really feel nothing for me now?" he asked. "That's not what this is," I said immediately. "I love you. I probably always will, in some way. But I don't love you the same, and love changes meaning when safety changes meaning. He swallowed hard. I can change. I know. But love doesn't rewind. Not when trust in something fundamental is shaken. He didn't argue this time. Something in him seemed to break the moment he saw I wasn't speaking out of anger or impulse. I was speaking with clarity. "And you're sure?" he asked, voice barely audible. I nodded once, slowly. The final yes to a final decision. He closed his eyes, let out a breath that sounded like surrender, then stood up from the table. Not abruptly, not dramatically, just quietly, almost dazed. He walked into the living room, grabbed his jacket, and stared at the door as if debating whether he could actually open it. Eventually he did, and before stepping out, he turned back toward me. "I hope you find someone who never hesitates." His voice cracked on the last word. "I hope you find someone who makes you feel strong." I replied. He nodded again, a small, broken nod. Then he left. The door clicked shut. And I sat there, alone, staring at the ring on the table. For a long time, I didn't move.